Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2017 Occoquan District Scouters Award Dinner. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules on this beautiful rainy day to celebrate the achievements of Scout leaders within the Occoquan District. You'll find before you a program of tonight's events along with a small token of appreciation from the Occoquan District. Once again, welcome to the 2017 Occoquan District Scouters Dinner. For those of you who I have not yet met, my name is Dan Marquis, and I have the distinct honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies again for this evening. At this time, I'd ask that you take notice of a special table that stands before you. This table is a place of honor. The Missing Scouts, Scouters, and Volunteers table. In setting this table, we acknowledge those Scouters, Scouts, and Volunteers missing from our celebration this evening. And we remember them. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing purity. The chair is empty, for they are not here. The glass is inverted, for they cannot partake this evening. The burning candle symbolizes the everlasting flame of scouting and the impact that these individuals had on the scouting program. Please bow your heads for a moment of silence. Well, it's my distinct pleasure at this time, having just spoke about him, introducing our guest speaker tonight, Bill Phillips, also known as Cobra 6. Just so happened that in washing potatoes tonight with Bill and his friend Dave Walton, Hero, us three helicopter pilots were talking about our various experiences in the military, some of which I'm sure Bill's going to speak to tonight. And you may not know that it seems that helicopter pilots are an inward-focused, introvert type of lot. You know, where the fixed-wing pilots, they fly and it's off we go into the wild blue yonder, and if anything happens, the plane still kind of flies, right? They glide to a landing. But helicopter pilots, we know that it's an intricate balance of machinery and forces that any number of which could go wrong at any time in which potential disaster occurs. And so you would think that we're pessimists, but quite the opposite. I'm told sometimes, Dan, you're such a pessimist. No, I'm inherently an optimist. Unfortunately, the facts just don't sustain my optimism. But in the case of us helicopter pilots, we have to be optimists when we strap on that helicopter every day. Bill is retired Lieutenant General of the United States Army, currently Vice President of Army Special Operations Forces and Latin America. Retired in 2014. At that time, the most senior Army aviator on active duty. He has 30 years of optimism flying Army aviation platforms, CH-47s, UH-1s, and OH-58s throughout the world. Like many of us, he has served in Afghanistan and Iraq, Korean Peninsula. Became Lieutenant General in February of 2010 and served as the Acquisition Advisor to the Chief of Staff of the Army and the Secretary of the Army. He began his career with the Boeing Corporation in May of 2015. He has an honorary doctorate from Middle Tennessee State University and was inducted into the Defense Acquisition University Hall of Fame. And as per Bill's instructions, we're going to keep it short and let Bill come up and give us some inspiring words tonight. Thank you, Bill.
Dan, thank you for that. And, I should say Frenchie, call sign Frenchie. What an honor it is to be here with you this evening. As I thought about what I would share with you, by the way, my message is to there's a lot of generations of Boy Scouts in here, but my message will really be to the younger generation. Those that are growing as leaders and going in the community and doing just wonderful things. And I'm reminded when you stand up here to speak and you're the last thing between this and dinner, you should show up, stand up, and shut up. So I'm going to keep it at that. But my message really is one to thank you. For all those who are going to receive awards this evening, thank you for what you do for the next generation of leaders that are growing up in our communities and at the end of the day, the nation. Because what you do is truly remarkable. Because I've been the benefit of that. When I left yesterday from my job down in Huntsville, Alabama to fly up here, there's a guy who walked into my office who works for me, and he's an Eagle Scout. His 2 sons are Eagle Scouts. And he just shared with me some of the things that had helped him change his life, and has changed the life of his 2 sons. So what you do as a community, as an organization, is really, at the end of the day, in my opinion, a leadership factory for the nation. And a couple of things I'll just share with you right off the bat. 13,525 community hours by this district. That's remarkable. 2,288 merit badges. There are 65 Eagle Scouts that have been designated this year within this district alone. And you have a community that's about 2,000 scouts. At the end of the day, that's leadership, that's dedication, that's commitment, that's discipline, that's growing leaders, and that's making this nation a greater place to live and work. So really, that's the gist of my thoughts with you that I share with you this evening. Tremendous accomplishments. But, gosh, leadership. Leadership is absolutely worth study. So for the young generation of Boy Scouts that are out there, I absolutely encourage you to study and read about leadership. You are already leaders in some capacity within your organizations, within your families, by the things you do. But you can always learn and grow as a leader. No matter where you are, no matter how old you are, it's worth studying. I want to share one quote from one of my heroes in life as to what leadership really is. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. General Douglas MacArthur. So let me ask you this question. Do leaders take a day off? What do you think? Leaders ever take a day off? Congress, do they take a day off? They're always on point, right? No matter what someone's looking at, right, Steve? They're always looking at you. And as you grow in an organization, it becomes more apparent that people are looking at you as a leader. So let me share this quote with you from one of my heroes in life too. You earn your leadership every day. And this person goes on to say, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. So part of that lesson is leaders can't do everything by themselves. Some of the best leaders in life motivate others to do great things for the organization or whatever the mission may be. By the way, that quote is from Michael Jordan. So when Michael Jordan takes a day off, what happens? If he doesn't go out, he scores 5 points instead of 45. What's going to happen the next day in the sports page on the Washington Post? Hey, Michael Jordan failed as a leader, didn't do these kinds of things. Never take a day off. As a leader, you're always on point. Mentorship. How many of you have mentors? A lot of hands are up. For the young generation, all of you should have your hands up. Really. Mentorship is so important within our community. It makes our armed forces, there's a lot of military around here that have served previously, and you know the importance of mentorship. Mentorship has led our armed forces, no matter what service you may represent, to be the greatest in the world. Because our leaders within our services are willing to share their ideas, their thoughts, and most importantly, their failures with others, so they do it better than they did. So if you don't have a mentor, and hopefully all of you do, go out and seek one. And by the way, I talk to my mentors all the time. And when I was flying up here, I was emailing one of my mentors who now lives in Florida. Earlier this week, I was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and I met with one of my mentors who happened to be the commander of trade ops several years ago. I don't lose contact with my mentors. I stay in contact with them. Second is passion. Have passion for what you desire to do in life. Have passion for what you desire to do in life. You can do anything that you set your heart to. I believe that in this country. You have tremendous opportunities to do so. This morning I was watching ESPN. There was a kid on there by the name of Joshua Dobbs. Some of you may know him. Went to the University of Tennessee, played football. So they were talking about his life as a young person. It was mesmerizing for me. As a 5-year-old kid, he's standing or sitting in a cockpit of a helicopter. And then in another photo, he has an astronaut with his arm around this 5-year-old kid. And he said, from that moment on, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be an aerospace engineer. And he also wanted to play football, because at 5 years old, he started playing football. So today, he is a graduate of the University of Tennessee in aerospace engineering. In the summers, he served with Pratt & Whitney, I think, and others. They were talking about that. And he was the 4th round draft pick for Philadelphia Eagles. So mentorship is so critically important. And he had young mentors that led him the way so that he could achieve his 2 passions. By the way, you can do more than one thing. And you can do more than one thing in life. So, but follow your passion, your passion. Relationships matter. You know, the best example is tonight. Gosh, I walk into this room and I see Tom Bortner sitting right there. 10 years ago, about 10 years, Tom, right? About 10 years ago, to this day, about this day, we were working the budget. I was at Picatinny Arsenal, you were in the Pentagon. And Tom was sitting in my living room playing a piano. I have not seen Tom for the last 10 years until tonight. And as soon as I saw him, we walked up and we hugged. Dan Cartier, where are you? Dan, right next to Tom. We served in the GA together right after 9/11 in the Army Pentagon. I hadn't seen Dan in many years. So we walked up, shook each other's hand, reminiscing about the old days. Relationships truly matter. I could sit here for an hour and talk to you about how relationships have helped me in my life and when I've had specific jobs to get things done. One final point here. If you do this, I will seek you out and hurt you. When you leave a job or you're going from one place to another, be gracious for what you have given and gracious about the opportunities others have helped you to be successful in that job or whatever that might have been. And when you leave that job, go and thank them in person. Go and sit in their office, shake their hands, whatever it might be. When you are gracious about what you have been given in those opportunities and you share that willingly with others, it has an impact on them. And oh, by the way, keep that Rolodex, keep that number, because you never know when you're going to need them at some point in the future. And that's happened to me time and time again. And my good friend Tom back here, guess what? Gave me every dollar that I needed when I was PEO ammo, working on all of the Department of Defense dollars. Relationships matter, but they can help you greatly along the way. Hard work pays off in everything that you do. Hard work pays off. Ethics and integrity. Boy, this is such an ethical organization with such high integrity, and you have credibility no matter where you go. By the way, when someone looks at a resume that has Eagle Scout on it, where do you think that person goes in line in terms of the potential for an interview? At the top. Or if you are a member of the Boy Scouts with everything that you've learned throughout your life, you go to the top. That's how important the work that you do and the impact that it has on you personally. How many times do you see so many people that have compromised their integrity? See it every day on CNN and Fox News, right? Happens quite often. Let me share this quote with you. What real integrity is doing the right thing. Pardon me, I've got to put on my glasses. It's bad when you get old. Real integrity is doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did or not. Just think about that. Always doing the right thing. And by the way, when you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about the next lie. because you're always telling the truth. By the way, that was from Oprah Winfrey. So let me ask you this, is ambition good? Is ambition good? Yeah. But what did I say earlier about ambition? Be grateful for what you have gotten. Be ambitious, but along the way, be grateful for the opportunities that you've been given, and make sure those that have helped you along the way know how grateful you are, because that comes back to you. My good friend Dave Walton and I served. We've known each other since, what, 1776 almost? You and I crossed the Delaware together. But I've known Dave. That's a guy that I trust with my life. And if I had to lay my life in someone's hands, I would readily trust Dave Walton with my life. And many of the folks that are very close to me, I feel the same way. Ambition is good, but as I mentioned earlier, make sure that others know how grateful you are for the opportunities that you've been given. And again, it's going to come back to you at some point. I guarantee it's going to come back to you. I'm going to wrap up with a couple other quotes. One is, God's the difference in winning and losing is most often not quitting. And that was by Walt Disney. So hard work, as I mentioned earlier, is key and critical. The 3 T's, I'm going to wrap up with that I think are very important in life. One is trust. Trust is the glue that holds every organization together. Think about that, and think about trust inside your organization. If you see something that's tearing at the trust within your organization, or it could be personal or professional, either one, you've got to address it, you've got to attack it, and you've got to work hard to build trust within your organization. When I was PEO Ammo and Joint Munitions Command, LCMC, we had an organization that we spent $4 billion a year, and it was for the OSD, Office of Secretary of Defense, all the ammunition, conventional ammunition for all the services. I was personally responsible for that for about 2 years. So I relied upon a lot of folks. There was a lack of trust between 2 of our organizations. So this is what I did. By the way, I read Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. If you want to read about trust, throw all the other books away and get that one. I made it required reading for the folks in my organization and the other ones. And we did an offsite for 3 days. We came to Fort Belvoir, put everybody within the room, and we locked them in there and came out of it 3 days later. And when we came out of that, we had action plans for us to work together better as an organization and start to build trust. Because I saw a breakdown of trust. You have to attack it. It is a glue that holds every organization together. It's a glue that holds families together as well. I know you probably see some of that in your personal life as well. Second is treat others with respect and kindness. That's, even in the toughest of challenges that you may have, you can always treat people with respect, admiration, and kindness. Even if it's called tough love, you can treat them with respect as you talk to them, you may counsel them, discipline, or whatever it may be. I have always tried to do that throughout my life. There was a guy, Lieutenant Colonel Terry Phillips. I met him many years ago when he was a captain. And I stayed in contact with him. When I first met him, I'd never known him before. But I was a colonel. I found out he was an acquisition guy. And I sat down and talked to him for about 15 minutes one-on-one. And then later on, I saw him a few other times. And then in January of 2014, I saw him again in Dallas, Texas. Just happened to run into him. And just sat down and chatted with him one-on-one. He got selected for colonel, and I had already been retired. And he said, "There's only one person that I want to promote me, and that's you." And he walked up to me and said, "You, in every conversation I've ever had with you, you made me feel better about myself. And you made me want to work harder and drive deeper in terms of getting the mission done for the Army or whatever he was doing." And he shared that back. That had as much of an impact on me as it did him. I've always tried to treat others with deep respect and admiration because, again, that's going to come back to you in big ways. Let me share this quote. "Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless." Mother Teresa. And the last thing I want to share with you is, the last of the T's is time. When you give your time to others, and you do so with great meaning, it has a tremendous impact on them. Matter of fact, sometimes it might change their lives. If you just take down and spend 10, 15, 30 minutes, an hour, however long it may be. As busy as we were in the Pentagon, 14, 16-hour days, I would take time every week to meet with anybody who wanted to come and meet with me within reason. And I met with a lot of folks. Every Friday afternoon I did this. I had a red folder, and I asked my staff to do simply this. I want to know somebody out there within our formation that did something great for the Army or for the Department of Defense. I don't care if they work for us in our organization or they're somewhere else. I want to know who they are and what they did. I want their name, their number, the supervisor's number, and that supervisor's name. And I want 2 or 3 sentences about what they did. So as busy as we were in the Pentagon, on Friday afternoon, I would pick up my red folder that I call the Heroes folder. And I would pick up the phone and I would call them. And I would tell them, hey, this is Lieutenant General Bill Phillips from the Pentagon. So after about 2 minutes trying to explain that I really am calling from the Pentagon, it really is me, we'd have a conversation for about 5, sometimes 10, 15 minutes about what they did. And the feedback that I got personally from that was inspirational for me. Absolutely tremendous. When you give your time to someone with great passion, it has a tremendous impact on them. Because what is the greatest gift you can give? Time. Because what a wasted or time, you can recycle almost anything except time. Time that you haven't taken advantage of is really wasted time. So take time to spend with others. It's been a real honor for me to be here with you this evening. It's been exciting for me. And I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for what you have done for our nation, because you truly are raising the next generation of leaders that's going to make this country even better than what it is today. God bless you, and God bless the Boy Scouts of America. Thank you.
So I have to actually take my glasses off so that I can see. Good evening, and thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you joining us to honor some of our scout leaders throughout the Occoquan District tonight. They're great leaders that we have here in the district. Delegate Anderson, Supervisor Anderson, Lieutenant General Phillips, and President Price, thank you for joining us as well to help us honor those scout leaders. You know, I thought long and hard of what I was going to say up here tonight. You know, inspirational, encouraging, recognizing, but it all came back to the same thing, that really the only appropriate thing to say tonight was thank you. Thank you to the scout leaders that went above and beyond, that spent precious time between scouting and their families and work. You know, that tends to get in the way sometimes, right? You know, thank you for your efforts. Thank you for being there for the scouts. Thank you for making this such a great district for the scouts to be involved in. All too often, being a scout leader is a thankless job. I know you didn't sign up to be thanked, but every now and again, it's nice to hear thank you. I'm excited to see so many leaders join us for dinner tonight. It was a great dinner. Thank you, Chanel. I'll mention more about that later. Without leaders like you, Scouting would not be the program it is today. I believe it's one of the strongest organizations in the world for building boys and girls into men and women. Your contributions to your units, the district, and the council show that you have a passion for scouting among the overwhelming pull for your attention in this day and age. On behalf of the Occoquan District, I'd like to say thank you for your efforts and for being here tonight. And I promise to be brief, and I am now done.
Thank you, Dave. The next member of our key three, our district commissioner, Mr. Mark Chipman, who generally is not as excited. So you got time to eat.
Thank you.
That was
Yeah, thank you. As you said, when I get in with the kids, and in some events, I get really long with it because I love scouting. Who people, how can I say this? If you're younger than 53, you can raise your hand. I've been in scouting 53 years now. I've got a lot of time in. They gave me the award for 50 years at a round table. One of the little Cub Scouts in front said, "Monty, he's older than you've been in. He's been in scouting longer than you've been alive." And I just looked at him, and I think it was Dave giving me the award. And she turned and says, "No, he's been in scouting longer than my father's been alive." Ouch. So, I do sincerely appreciate everyone here and for what you do for the Scouts. Everything you do makes them a better American and a better human being. And I really appreciate that. It makes my job much easier. I've got compadres in other districts who are doing nothing but answering questions of why Scouts do this, why Scouts do that, how come this leader's that way, how come that leader's that way. I don't have that problem in this district. I've got a great bunch of leaders, and I sincerely appreciate that, and I thank you all. I'm done.
Thank you, Mark. And I'm done too. I just finished my. And not last, just third in the row is Mr. Chris Huston, our new district executive. This is your first district dinner, right? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. The Boy Scouts of America is one of the coolest mission statements, and it's something that a lot of our scouters don't know, and that's that the mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people with ethical and moral choices through their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Out and Scout Law. And that's at the heart of what we're trying to do with Scouting, and that is a very powerful and impressive mission. And we wouldn't be able to do it without all of the effort, the time, the sweat, the campouts that each of you dedicates your time, talents, and treasure to deliver. So we have a very impressive mission statement, but a mission statement alone isn't able to accomplish the good that we seek to do. So I wanted to share a little bit about the impact that we're making in delivering that mission. This year, and these are National Capital Area Council-wide statistics, but we had a 2% growth in Cub Scouting, a 9.6% growth in exploring, and the National Capital Area Council throughout the entire year reached 58,804 youth. That's a huge impact. The town that I grew up in was only 2,500, so this is just mind-blowing to me. We have 19,912 adult leaders, 1,519 new Eagle Scouts. I read a stat that if they were to be crammed into Metro cars, it would take 17 different Metro cars just to fill the new Eagle Scouts that we have this year. We provided 500,000 hours of community service and 10.3 service hours per Scouts, and collected over 1 million pounds of food for needy people in our community. And that's all because of the time, the talent, and the treasure that you dedicate in our scouting program work for the youth in our community. So thank you so much for helping us to deliver a great scout program for all of our families.
Would our district commissioner please come forward for the presentation of the Lord Baden-Powell Service Award? Saunders up here. Lord Baden-Powell Volunteer Service Award. This award is awarded by each unit within the district recognizes at least 2 individuals for outstanding service and contribution. One award per unit to a leader within the unit, and the second to another outstanding adult associated with the unit. After nomination by the unit committee and concurrence by the unit commissioner, the nominees will be awarded personally approved by the district commissioner. The award citation reads, "Be it known to all present that these scouters and volunteers, having served with distinction as a leader in their units during the year 2016, are hereby presented the Lord Baden-Powell Volunteer Service Award on the 6th day of May 2017 in the Occoquan District, the National Capital Area Boy Scouts of America. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce the following unit leaders and adults as the 2016 Occoquan District Lord Baden-Powell awardees that will be presented by Mark Chipman."
We're going to read through them so that each individual is recognized. If your name shows up, please stand up. I'm going to go through the steps.
Okay.
John Lungo, Pack 35. Jacob McKinsky, Pack 108. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for what you do for your unit. The people of your unit have distinguished you as outstanding adults who take care of the scouts. And that's what we're here for. These are awards of giving you that recognition, and I applaud you. Thank you very much. Please have a seat.
At this time, dessert will be served.
We're not done.
We're holding on dessert.
If you look like me, President Price has a special award to give to an individual.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor tonight to present an award posthumously to one of our great scouters in this area. Vanessa, would you please join me? Be it known to all present that Troy Olson, having served with distinction as a leader in Troop 1356 during the year 2016, is hereby presented the Lord Baden-Powell Award in the Occoquan District of the National Capital Area Council of Boy Scouts of America. Sadly, Troy cannot be here to accept this personally. He served faithfully during the year 2016 until his life was cut short and he was taken home to the Lord. It's my pleasure now to present this great award for his outstanding leadership and service in scouting to his wife, Vanessa Olson.
Tonight we also recognize those charter organizations who have made outstanding contributions at the district level. This year we're recognizing 3 charter organizations. The first is General Lewis A. Chester Pulley, DFW Post 1503.
Representative from the VFW?
Roger.
Roger, come on.
Our second recipient of the Charter Organization Award is St. Francis of Assisi School.
The Charter Organizational Representative is my wife Chanel, and on her behalf I'll accept the award.
organization, outstanding contribution recognized is the Muslim Association of Virginia. Do we have any?
Thank you. And now we have our district chairman, Dave, for a presentation of the district chairman awards.
The District Chairman's Award is unique to the Occoquan District. It was created a number of years ago just as a special honor to certain scouters that are kind of in the trenches. So they came up with this award, and I'm pleased to honor two awardees tonight. I don't believe either of them are here, but you know, with our busy lives and one date, it's difficult to gather 100 and something awardees. Both of these gentlemen, I believe, are in the process of PCSing out of this area. So the first is Dale Halligan from Troop 1390. Dale is the assistant scoutmaster for and assistant scoutmaster from Troop 1390. Unlike in Minnesota, the troops here are much larger. They have more than one. He's been a long-time scout. He's an Eagle Scout. His son is an Eagle Scout. He's very active in his church, Grace Baptist Church. He's a career Air Force officer. Remains there and is PCSing to Alabama. So I believe back to where they began. So I can't say enough about his efforts in scouting and how much we appreciate what he's done, not only for Troop 1390, but for the Occoquan District and for his church. The other awardee is Mark Anderson. I don't know who of you here knows Mark Anderson, but he is about as dedicated a person to the Sea Scout program as you can get. He's an Eagle Scout himself, recipient of the Quartermaster's Award as a youth. He's been involved in Sea Scouting, I believe, since the first ship sailed. Not that ship, the first Sea Scout ship. I see where you guys are going. In fact, he was one of the founding members for the ship here in the Occoquan District. So I believe we have at least one other founding member here, Jim Whipple, tonight. We may have another one somewhere here. So thank you very much for starting that program. Just to get a small plug-in for the Sea Scouts, I know that a lot of Boy Scout leaders here tonight. Please consider allowing your scouts to participate in the Sea Scout program. They desperately need scouts. I believe they're down to 2 or 3, and they could use a few scouts. Don't worry, they can remain active in both Boy Scouts and Sea Scouts, so there's not going to be any loss of scouts there. But if you can, talk to them about that opportunity and see if they'd be interested. Mark has really been instrumental in keeping that ship as part of the Occoquan District, and for that we thank him. So thank you very much.
Next we have, could I have Bob Fendelson please come forward to present the Gordon Lazarson Award.
Thank you, Dan. If this is your first year to a district dinner, you're probably asking yourselves, what is the Gordon Lazarson Volunteer Award and who was Gordon Lazarson? I can answer both of those questions. The Gordon Lazarson Award is an award that's presented by the Occoquan District leadership to an individual for their outstanding contribution to the scouting program in the Occoquan District. This year, the committee approved this award. I'm sorry. Back up for a minute. Back in 1998, we had one large district. It was the entire county of Prince William County. And in 1998, the council decided to split some of these large county districts into smaller districts. So the eastern half of Prince William District became Occoquan District. And at that time, leadership here decided that they would create some awards to honor some of the scouters in the district that would be somewhat, that those that would not be probably qualified to earn the district award merit. And so the Gordon Laxton Volunteer Award was one of those that was adopted. The Bain Hall Award was another one that was adopted. The Charter Organization Award was another one that was adopted in that first year of the new district. And so that's kind of the history now of these particular awards. And getting to Gordon now, he unselfishly gave a large portion of his own time to the scouting program. He was a retired Air Force officer. He was working for USAID, so he traveled a lot. When he was here in the county, he dedicated his spare time to the scout program and to scouts. If you ever needed to get a hold of Gordon, you couldn't find him at home. What you needed to do was find a scout activity that was going on, and you would for sure find Gordon there at that activity. There's probably only about 4 or 5 people in the room that even knew Gordon when he was alive. He was like another brother to me, even though he was Jewish. He was our Jewish religious coordinator. But there's some other things about him that Gordon has made his life so unusual. I don't know if you ever heard of the place called Boys Town, Nebraska. There's a movie that was made back in 1938 that made that place famous. In fact, that's probably why they made the movie, because they raised a lot of money in donations after people learned about Boys Town. Gordon and his older brother grew up in Boys Town. I don't know much about his family history beyond that, but I do know that he earned his eagle at the age of 13. His brother earned an eagle, same place in Boys Town. But Gordon would consistently go out of his way to lend a helping hand to others. On a given weekend, like I said, you needed to find the scout event first. He wasn't dedicated to just his troop, though. He was dedicated to the entire scout program. He was a strong advocate of community service. Because he was Jewish, he really didn't celebrate Christmas. But yet, on Christmas Day, you'd find him in D.C. helping Christians, handing out food. So, that's the way he celebrated Christmas. So what we do is we look around at the scouters that we have right now in our community, and we look for someone who emulates the life of Gordon Ladd. And so on the behalf of Gordon's family, this year we decided to choose a lifetime scouter who's really brought the international scouting community to our district. His name is Jimmy Spoody. Unfortunately, Jimmy could not be here tonight. He's at OU because he has a granddaughter graduating. So I think that's a good excuse for not being here. He will certainly be surprised at his award at a later date. Now let me also add that this is usually one person that we select each year. This year we decided that it was important to choose a second person. We decided to choose a person that was instrumental in creating these awards, the idea of these awards back in 1998. And so without further ado, Jim Phillips, would you please come forward?
Folks like to say one word. It's like what our guest speaker said tonight. Recognize your fellow man. And that's what we're here. We're supposed to guide for our young scouts districts are well looking for is past recipients of this, and they deserve it also. So thank you very much.
Stay in place for two reasons. One is, Jim is just one of the committee members that helped with selecting these awards. One of the other members you can't see, but he's back there in the kitchen, that's Rich Sackett. And then we have Jack Zato and Pete Salva.
That's it.
Are also on this committee. I asked Jim to stay up here because we have a couple other awards that we want to give out that we didn't list here on the agenda. And the next one is the Veterans Award.
Does anybody here know what the Veterans Award is? Just show your hands. What the Veterans Award is to recognize all you folks that give your time to scouting, both as a youth and also as an adult. It's another way that the Boy Scouts of America thanks you for your service. So I'm going to recognize a few folks tonight, and there's a lot more that can be recognized by your home units. It's a simple application, submit it, recognized by a court of honor, great deal. The first recipient I have coming up is Mr. Stan Mushaw. Stan's been a scouting volunteer for 15 years. Thank you very much. My next recipient, Justin Yaus. Hey, Justin, come out of the kitchen.
Calling you.
Justin here is getting recognized with his 20-year Veterans Award. We have 3 individuals that have distinguished themselves a little bit longer. Each one of these individuals have earned a 25-year award. 2 of them are not here. One is Mike Ford and the other is Jerry Siggers. But the third one is Mr. Norman Pollock. Please come forward. I did injustice here. He's been here a little bit longer than 25. It's actually for 45 years. 48? 2 more years. You get the While I'm up here, I've been around this scouting in this area since 1969. In all those years, I've only known one scouter ever earned the International Scouters Award. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight, but we're going to present this certificate at the next time we see him, and that's Jimmy Spook. How many know what the 12-point of the Scout Law is? Someone, what is it? Scout is reverend. That means he believes in his spiritual supreme being, whatever you may like to address. Most of us say God. But also to recognize an adult leader who goes a little bit beyond than bringing up his family into the Christian faith, setting an example for all of us to follow. It's by leadership too. And as someone that's been around this district for a long time, this next individual has introduced something to all of our district meetings since she's been the district chair, Mr. Dave Byrne. I'd like to have his lovely bride here present him with the ribbon around his neck for the Good Shepherd Emblem for the Baptist faith. David, sit down.
Okay, so we've reached the point now where we're basically the height of the event, and that's giving out the District Board of Merit. We have some recipients here tonight, I believe all three are here.
Yes.
So Jim's going to assist me and hopefully the spouse, if they're here, with presenting this award. And the first one's going to go to Mr. Doug Phillips.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Some of you who are Scoutmasters will remember Doug as their instructor for the Scoutmaster course.
Thank you, everybody.
So our second recipient is Mr. Keith Roberts.
What I forgot to do with Doug here, they also get a nice lovely plaque and a square knock for the uniform, so we'll get those for the folks after the ceremony. For those that don't know what this award's about, it's to recognize a district person by our council. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time to be distinguished this way. And there's a lot of recipients out here in the audience, and we can thank every one. Pete, congratulations.
And so the last recipient tonight for the District Board of Merit is Mr. David Byrne.
No. I tried, guys.
Yes, I do.
Suzanne, please have the pledge. You're from Jersey.
Turn this business on about.
Would the district executive please come forward for the presentation of our next award, the Silver Beaver. Tonight, we recognize Mark Chipman.
He didn't show up at the ceremony.
So Mark was formally recognized in April for receiving the Silver Beaver Award at the National Capital Area Council Annual Court of Honor. This recognition is for registered scouters for exceptional character who have provided distinguished service within the council. It's presented by the National Court of Honor on behalf of council. So it's a very prestigious honor, and we're delighted that we're able to celebrate Mark in his being a recipient of the Silver Beaver Award. Congratulations.
One last quick presentation. I'll do this as quickly as possible, but these three individuals need to be recognized. For those of you who have served on the district committee with me over the last year or two, you'll know that one of my biggest pet peeves goes something like this. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so. Thank you very much for stepping up to be a leader. That'll be $24, please. You know what I'm talking about, you're a scout leader. That's just the registration fee. Then there's the uniforms, the training, cost of participation, the list goes on. It seems like everywhere you turn, it costs money to be a volunteer. That doesn't make sense. And when I really grasped that, I thought something has to change. So last September, I challenged the district committee to make the district dinner free. Yes, that's right. In the past, you had to pay to come to receive your award. By a show of hands, how many people believe that makes sense? Bob? Thank you for being the committee chair for next year. I appreciate that. So I challenged the district committee, and Dave Walton, our vice chair of finance, accepted that challenge. He said, I'll make that happen. My challenge was that I wanted to make this district dinner free. Well, if you've done a scouting event, you know it costs a bit to put this on. That's a lot of food. You know, the venue oftentimes, Lake Ridge Baptist Church has been wonderful to extend their facility to us, but oftentimes even the venue costs money. So I would like to say thank you to three people that made this happen in particular. There are a number of people that made this evening possible, but I'd like to thank Dave Walton, Jimmy Spoo, and Chanel Marquis for making tonight's dinner a little extra special. They made it free. Jimmy for a moment. Chanel was actually going to accept, don't go anywhere. Chanel was going to accept Jimmy Spoo's previous award. So she believed that she is now Jimmy. We'll talk later, Dan. Don't go anywhere. Real quick, now just a couple of brief comments, and then I'll let you close it out. Dave serves on the district committee as the vice chair of finance. He's an Eagle Scout, member of the OA, former assistant scoutmaster. Prior to serving on the district committee, he was an artillery officer and pilot in the U.S. Army, search and rescue pilot, and Coast Guard, and the list goes on. I believe earning his Eagle Scout rank set him on the right path. I believe most of you would agree. Jimmy, who is attending his granddaughter's graduation at the moment, certainly has his priorities straight. He's also on the district committee as our liaison for international scouting, as you can see by the multiple awards. If you know Jimmy, you know he's been a few places. I believe just in the last 6 months alone, he's been to 6 different countries, including 3 within the last 3 or 4 weeks. Jimmy's also an Eagle Scout, was awarded the Vigil Honor from the OA. The Vigil Honor is the highest honor that the OA awards one of its members. Chanel, whoever has participated in this district event for the last couple of years knows how special Chanel has been to the district. Chanel's the brains of the operation tonight. She made this possible. I believe this is the 4th year? 5th? 5th or 6th?
It's all a blur.
She's been doing it. Yeah, Dan knows it all too well. So I just wanted to say, job well done. I can't say enough about your dedication to Scout and Scouters in this district. Chanel is also a district vice chair and the membership committee chair. She serves in a pack and a troop as the charter organization representative and committee chair. Pack 1385 and troop 138, right? As well as works for St. Francis of Assisi and occasionally acts as wife and mom. As you can see, we're up to 6 6 children now, right, including Dan?
Yeah, and one.
4.5 plus Dan, that makes 5.5 current. So please join me in thanking Dave, Jimmy, and Chanel for their financial contributions as well as their efforts to make this dinner possible tonight for free.
Okay, wood badgers, please.
Dan, tell us real quick about what wood badger is, because some people don't know.
I'll let them tell you. Stand introduction. Our wood badgers are attendees at a special leader training event. It's quite an intense event, and that's just the training portion of it. After that, they have to execute a ticket and earn their way to the completion of the Wood Badge program. And generally, the ticket is some tremendous task within the scouting program, be it to start a brand new unit or reinvigorate some aspect of the program that may be failing, or champion a particular event, such as a large camporee or a district dinner or something. So generally, not just a couple weeks of training, but probably months and years of dedicated service time afterwards.
Following the training, some of us go on to become staff members and train others.
And they're going to lead us tonight in the singing of Scout Vespers, which in your program is on the very back page for those of you who are not familiar. I can kick it off. Stop. All the light day, as our campfire fades away, silently each scout should ask, have I done my daily task? Have I kept my honor bright? Can I give the sleep tonight? Have I done and have I dared everything to be prepared? Yes,
In the spirit of our guest speaker tonight, Lieutenant General Phillips, I first heard about Wood Badge when I went to the National Scout Jamboree in 2005. And they had a big kiosk set up there promoting Wood Badge. And there was a gentleman up there, he was wearing shorts, he had long tall socks, and he had the scout cap on. And he said, I'm an Army Lieutenant General, and let me tell you about Wood Badge. He said, this is the finest training. I spent 30 years in the United States Army, and I've never had any training as good as what I've had at Wood Badge. Well, that was enough for me, so they recruited me. So, our thanks to these folks, because Wood Badge is not a simple enterprise. It's 2-3 day weekends, and on paper it looks simple until you try to schedule it. Okay? Pretty tough to do, pretty tough to do. So our thanks to these guys. But there's a second group we want to thank tonight. We always overlook these folks. Unsung heroes. At the very beginning of our evening, who instilled us with the scout spirit for this evening? Our color guard. Okay? So our thanks to Troop 501 for stepping forward and doing a stupendous job with that honor guard tonight. So here's our
recognition of our last group of volunteers. Generally, often the unsung heroes of scouting, spouses who support these scouters and tolerate all that we put them through. If you're a scouting spouse, would you please stand and allow us to thank you for all that you do in support of this fantastic museum?